The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, got the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
5 yards on the game's first play, second down. The numbers there for Howard a week ago. 18 carries, 73 yards.
And, partner, I thought it was a lot of fun for us to be able to sit in on their film session with the offensive line. We saw how they blocked it up last week to pretty good success, and we see what their game plan is for this week. They expect that defensive front to be someone they can move.
And he'll be brought down right around the 37. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now Allen off the bootleg. Oh, Allen cannot get away, and down he goes. Dante Hightower coming in for the sack from his linebacker spot. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Throwing now is Allen. He'll get this one complete to Zay Jones.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
To the air, Allen. And he finds Beasley complete. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
Oh, he's going to go ahead and field it from the 3-yard line. It's a 45-yard punt, then 8 on the return. And the Pats will be backed up deep to get the drive started as they take over 1st and 10. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
On play action, now Brady. Philip Dorsett hauls it in. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. 14 yards is the pickup there, and a New England 1st down. Sony Michel, his first carry. He'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That one covers 29 yards, 1st down. Got to give a nod of appreciation to some of those guys up front over on that left side. Several key blocks sprung him.
No appreciation for the guys from the backside that didn't allow any leakage, anybody could run him down from the backside.
They're at the kids' table.
Okay, so front side guys, good. Backside guys,
meh.
That's what you're supposed to do?
I've had better.
Okay, either way, worked out quite well, didn't it? A nice sizable gain.
A first down run, not going to get him a whole lot. Maybe a yard. Yeah, it looks like just 1 yard there. So that'll bring up 2nd and 9. Now they'll throw with Brady. Flushed out right. And now he's going to use his legs. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation. An extra defensive back here for the Bills on 3rd down. They fake the handoff. Now Brady. Well, the connection. This is Ryan Izzo complete. And he's got a first down as a tackle made at the Bills' 24-yard line. We're scoreless after 1. Start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Patriots in control of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10.
Alabama, 380.
First down, here's White. He'll have a first down inside the 10. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. James White with touchdown number 8 on the year, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Gostkowski with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And the last play, a really nice run that culminated in the touchdown. Gostkowski now, after the touchdown, he'll send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Bills offense coming out, ready to take over. They'll be looking to match that touchdown from a moment ago. 7-0 is the score as they begin with a first down. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. On play action, Allen. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Zay Jones that time, but it's going to be 2nd down. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. You can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust. And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Throwing is Allen on 3rd, and that is incomplete.
Yeah, it does have good graphics. I like it. But I want to get
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Here's Ryan Quigley now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. White now to return. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game. But this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football. Because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
Heck of a start. A 30-yard pickup on their first play from scrimmage.
I know that play went to the left side, and that's what it was designed to do, an outside handoff there. But how about the whole offensive line being involved? Seal the left side where the play was going, what they call play side. But how about on the back side? Just taking care of business to make sure no one can get there and disrupt it.
Is the biggest key the left tackle?
Without a doubt. Control that edge. Get out there. You want that left tackle, or if you bring your tight end over there, either way, control the edge of the line of scrimmage, you got a chance to rumble.
Much more room to operate under after the big play. Here's 1st and 10. Keeping it on the ground on first. Michelle. And an alley to run. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Back-to-back plays of right around 30 yards, and the field position has totally been flipped.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
They'll run on first down. White. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. That one good for 13 at a New England first down. His first carry of their second drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurdling through them.
Watch the slip. Watch the slip.
They go right back to White here on first down. White's got a first down and more. And he's in. Touchdown, Patriots. James White, his second touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Patriots, they add on to their lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strike ability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Extra point good by Gostkowski. Gostkowski now after the touchdown. He'll send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Cole Beasley, the intended target, and it's third down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Allen now looks to throw. Gets this to his running back, Jordan Howard. A gain of 4 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Here's Ryan Quigley now as he's on to punt for Buffalo. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. Brady now on first down, escaping the pressure right. He'll try and run it, and he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir, able to turn that into a positive gain. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Here's White. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half.
Wait, that 380. 58, come on. Don't get nervous. Go 50.
Now a first down carry. It's Michel. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And finally wrestled down at the 11. Now the Patriots will use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Brady gives this to White, and he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old-school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. And finding room to work, he's down to the 2-yard line. The Patriots will take their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half.
Wait, 20. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Michel. And he keeps fighting his way into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. Sony Michel, as the first half is winding down. And the Patriots, they add on to their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Extra point try for Gostkowski. And it is now 21-0. So that a 7-play, 80-yard drive. And it was Sony Michel's touchdown scamper that polished the drive off. Gostkowski now after the touchdown. He'll send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
And now this throw incomplete, and that is how this first half will come to an end. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things starting to get interesting in this final weekend before Thanksgiving. So let's see what's going on around the NFL. We'll start up at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. And an 11-point game there as they come upon halftime. 2 touchdown passes there for Russell Wilson. From there, we move to Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City to see what's going on with the Chiefs. And they trail the visiting Denver Broncos in that one. 2 touchdown passes there for Teddy Ballgame. Finally, let's get down to Miami to see what's going on with the Dolphins. And it's the visiting LA Chargers who are out in front. Travis Benjamin, a touchdown reception. In the game you're watching, it's who else? Tom Brady with a strong first half. His guys have a 3-touchdown lead as we're about ready to go into the second half. And to get you through it, we give it back to Brandon Gaud.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Offense marching back onto the field, and our focus shifts here to Sony Michel. And with the day he's having, as we look at some of these highlights, maybe he wants to duplicate this pregame meal next week.
Whatever it is, guaranteed he will ask for the exact same thing each and every week as long as he continues to run like that. Sometimes it's that simple, partner.
The Pats at the line, ready to go. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Oh, he can't get away, and Brady will go down. Ed Oliver, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more exotic pressure towards the quarterback.
Tough spot for the Pats now after the sack as Brady will lead them up 3rd and long. Play action. Now it's Brady. Open man is Gordon, complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. I guess that answers the question of whether or not they're going to try to play conservative and protect this lead in the 3rd quarter.
And I think this is something we're seeing more and more of in the NFL. Teams not playing to protect leads, teams playing to extend them.
So the big play gets them across midfield now for 1st and 10. Brady going to throw. Eluding the pressure right. Got Gordon open, completes it. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
They don't want it. Wait, that's 53.
Now Brady on the bootleg. It's caught by Roberts. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. Michael Roberts, his first touchdown on the year. And the Patriots, they add on to their lead.
I know a lot of people look at these games and think, all right, this thing's done. Let's have some sportsmanship. Let's not try and score. You should never do that in the NFL. I've seen big leads blown, and teams that looked like they had a victory, all of a sudden we're going home with a loss.
Gostkowski for the point after. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. 5 plays there on that drive, and it's finished off by a Pats touchdown. Gostkowski now, after the touchdown, he'll send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So here's the Bills offense now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
On the delay, it's Howard. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
Here's Allen. And that's caught by Beasley. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. So the shotgun snap to Allen. He completes it to Jones. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 14 yards, and the Bills will get a... new set of downs. 2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Allen over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. Hate to say it, but that play typifies what we've seen from this offense all game long.
Yeah, don't you think maybe you flip over your play sheet as the offensive coordinator and see the side that says try something different? You know, because this has not worked all game long. They continue to try and get it done. They've got to come up with something a little bit different. Try something special, something they haven't seen.
Anything to score a point. Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just one target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
Here's Ryan Quigley now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this one sails out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25. It will. 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. So here are the Patriots to take over. They've got the lead yet again in this ball game with their winning streak right now sitting at 10. So Brady and the Pats take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Hey, 66.
This drive starts out on the ground with Michelle. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. And it's Michelle once again. 7 yards there and a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop it. Brady's throw there complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a first down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done. Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Wait, that 380. 49. All day, punk. Ozzy.
On first down, Brady. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've got an answer for it.
On 2nd and 10, Brady, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. Ryan Izzo, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
There's no doubt in my mind.
And do you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right?
No.
I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
She's going. She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
The point after try for Gostkowski. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it ends with a New England touchdown. Gostkowski now after the touchdown. He'll send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Bills offense now, they get set to head back onto the field.
And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points. You feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Allen now on first down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. Now Allen, going to throw again. And a grab by Croft. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
The 2nd down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3. From the gun, it's Allen. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Here's Ryan Quigley now. He's been terrific so far. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions. But the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. Get him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. The previous run good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. The backup Stidham, his first throw out to his left. Gets this into the hands of N'Keal Harry. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 18 big yards on that one, and a New England first down.
He gets his first catch there, but all in all, when you're talking about the #1 receiver in the NFL coming into this game, and we're just talking about the first catch there, I think they're doing a nice job of bottling him up.
On first down, Michelle. And he'll take it across midfield and into Buffalo territory. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
And some space here. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one, a gain of 20 and a first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Let's go. 8, read.
Launch 49.
6 man. Ready.
On first down, Stidham rolling to his right. He's going to go up, and he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Extra point try for Gostkowski. Now, this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it's finished off by a Pats touchdown. Gostkowski now, after the touchdown, he'll send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here.
These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Patrick Chung. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will score. Touchdown, Patriots.
Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
Gostkowski for the point after. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Back onto the field now comes the Bills offense. And fresh off the pick 6, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
Comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? Yeah. 2nd and 10 now from the 27.
Watch left. Tight end to the left, tight end left.
Throwing again. Allen. Throwing over the middle. But it's incomplete.
I think this one offensively, this is one where you just say, let's move on. Let's not even watch the game tapes from this one.
Yeah, you might just want to throw it in the trash, act like it was never there in the first place.
Yeah, just say we're good. I actually have heard of a coach in the past who took his team out to the practice field and ceremonially buried the game films from the prior game when they got clobbered. That was his way of putting it behind them.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd.
At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe, you've taught me this before, maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them.
A big hitter. That one goes for 40 yards.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. And an alley to run. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. So another score there. And often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. The quick strike ability certainly intact there. 2 plays, 80 yards to score it. Gostkowski now after the touchdown. He'll send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. The Bills getting set to go. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. Tyler Kroft, the tight end, the one he was looking for. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Another pass attempt, another incompletion. You figure defensively, you're in the 4th quarter here. You've held the team under 100 yards passing. You've done your job.
Especially in today's NFL, which is truly a pass-first league.
Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. Caught by Jones. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Allen. And he finds Beasley complete. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Give him 18 on that one as the Bills are going to have a 1st down. That is catch number 300 now for his NFL career. On 1st down, Allen toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Dez Bryant, the intended receiver, but it'll be 2nd down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw again, Allen. Short throw hauled in by Kroft. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Allen now looks to throw. Short throw hauled in by Kroft. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football.
Well, that field goal block pretty much sums up the day for them, doesn't it?
Boy, it really does. What's the word we often use? Symptomatic. It's just been a sign of how this one's gone.
Give a lot of credit to the guys who got in and blocked the kick. They've had the advantage all game, and they continue to press it.
Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point, as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plane to catch.
So now a chance for points in the opposite direction after the blocked field goal. Stidham's going to set up to throw this. They'll roll him out right. And he's going to have the hook up to Izzo. A big play there for New England. 41 yards. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Tight end to the right, boy. Tight end to the right. Move.
On 2nd down, here's Stidham. On the move to it. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left.
Ready, set.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Five.
On 3rd down, Stidham sliding out of the pocket. He may try and run for this. And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play. So it doesn't affect the outcome, but a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top. One of the fun parts about working with you is that we've learned that there are different ways to do things than the way we were brought up to do them. This is Madden. Of course they were going to go ahead and get another score. What do you mean take a knee?
And that just makes the final margin even more lopsided. I think they earned themselves a cold drink from the fridge, right?
There's no
Maybe
doubt
some
about
pretzels, too, some hummus. Go crazy.
See, we've learned.
Go crazy.
We have learned the Madden way of doing things.
Gostkowski the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. So we had action to the very end of this one, the score on the final play that they didn't need to have. They didn't just run out the clock, though. They added to their final total.
Played it all the way to the end, and you know some coaches preach that and tell their teams that's what I want all the time, and they feel like if they don't do it themselves, they're not living up to the message that they're sending out.
So for the Pats, the perfect season remains intact as they move to 11-0 on the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Bills, it's a loss that sets them back in their playoff push as they fall to 6-5. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head down to Miami to take on the Dolphins. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Start your week by installing your game plan.
Matching hundreds. It's the coach. This is the 2020 season on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see teams with a couple of running backs who each went over 100 yards a weekend ago, as it'll be the Denver Broncos taking on the New England Patriots. With that, let's head on up to Foxborough. Standing by with the call at Gillette Stadium, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
From the area known as Patriot Place, EA Sports set for football at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Denver Broncos and the New England Patriots. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Patriots team entering play. The streak continues, doesn't it? They come in here a perfect 11-0. Meanwhile, for the visiting Broncos, things haven't gone exactly according to plan to this point. But, boy, you and I down there with them before the game, they were fired up.
And they understand how important this game is. Win this one, they can start to think about a turnaround.
The bye weeks are over. It's all about football all the time as we're underway here in Week 13. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by their quarterback, the former Louisville Cardinal, Teddy Bridgewater.
And I'll bet right now it's just one thought in his mind.
Win the game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, without a doubt. He played pretty well. I mean, he didn't turn over the ball in terms of interceptions, right?
2 touchdown passes last week.
2 touchdown passes, but when your team doesn't win, that's just hollow. And the best quarterbacks don't care about anything but whether or not their team won.
On the set, 52. Mike 52. Bring it. Bring it.
First down, Bridgewater. And incomplete to open things up. Emmanuel Sanders, the intended receiver. That'll bring up second down. And let's look quickly here at the Denver offense.
So let's all work together on this one because it's natural to just watch the football. But I want all of us to watch the center of this offensive line, the center and the 2 guards. They've got to be able to control the point of attack, and they didn't do such a good job on that last play. Plenty of opportunities to redeem themselves. They'll have to take advantage of that and start to make progress.
Freeman. And he'll get about 6 up to the 27-yard line.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And able to find Deshaun Hamilton complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 14 yards there and a Denver first down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
They try and run on first down, but this one going to lose a couple yards as they get him behind the line.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Let's go left. Let's put him on the bunches. Let's put that team on the bus.
Now it's a bootleg with Bridgewater. Got an open man. It's Fumagalli. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. Defensively, here are the starters for New England. They were terrific last week against Buffalo in that victory.
Yeah, they pitched a shutout in that game, didn't they? And those don't come around all that often in the NFL. The ability to keep someone out of the end zone and also from kicking one through the post. Well done.
An extra corner comes on now for the Patriots D on third down. From the gun, Bridgewater. And that is incomplete. Not the opening possession they were looking for, especially on the road.
No doubt about it, because they wanted to come out and establish a little momentum right away. But now bringing up a fourth down, an empty possession, not what they were seeking.
And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. So now here come the Patriots to take over on offense. And they're led out by a guy who's done just about everything you could ever imagine to do in this league, the great Tom Brady.
It's been a lot of fun watching him develop in his career. But that will to win, he's had that probably since birth, and it transmits itself throughout his entire ball club. Watching him play, it can be an absolute joy unless you're on the other team.
Brady and the Patriots now, 1st and 10 at the 20. They'll run it here. This is James White. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. That one good for 13 at a New England first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. From the gun, it's Brady. And Philip Dorsett holds it in. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
They'll run for the first time with Sony Michel. Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back first downs. And now we take a peek at the Patriot offense.
I love the versatility of Marcus Cannon. He can play guard, he can play tackle. I think his footwork has really improved during his time in the NFL. He has one of the better backstories that you're going to get. This is a guy who was diagnosed with cancer, has beaten that, and now is one of the better players in the NFL.
Brady gives to Michel. The 20. A big play on the ground there. It goes for 36 yards.
This has been a good drive so far, and it's been the running game for the most part that's powered them down there. Another nice burst there, picking up a first down. Now it's 1st and 10, as you said, in the red zone.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Brady. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Josh Gordon, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down. But look now at the starters defensively for the Broncos. This unit against the pass, hoping to get better for sure. Number 25 in the NFL right now.
And when you're getting ready to face the #1 overall offense in the NFL, it does not matter where you rank defensively, because you got your hands full. You don't know what you're going to face, but you know that that's a strong unit that you're getting ready for.
Brady's incompletion on 1st down leads to a 2nd and 10. Brady now going to leave it with Michel on the draw. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up 1st and goal.
You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage.
Now he's over the line and into the end zone for a Patriot score. Sony Michel with touchdown number 23 here on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
Gostkowski with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. So that a 7-play, 80-yard drive. And it was Sony Michel's touchdown scamper that polished the drive off. Gostkowski now, after the touchdown, he'll send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And coming out now, the Broncos. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first down.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Dietrich Wise Jr. showing his strength and quickness there. A loss of 4.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. Throwing is Bridgewater. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Bridgewater now. And he will score. Touchdown, Patriots. And this defense looking like they have come to play the pick six, and just like that, it's 13-0 early on.
Well, go back with me to our training camp visits. What do we hear during these drills? Pass. Ball's in the air.
And then my favorite.
Oski. That's the interception. That means everybody finds someone to block them legally, stay on your feet, and they get it done. Touchdown.
The point after try for Gostkowski. And it's good to make it 14-0. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Getting set to go here, Teddy Bridgewater and company marches back onto the field. And now, Charles, this becomes a pretty important second drive for them. They're already down a pair of scores here in the first quarter.
As you noted, they're down 2 scores, and to me, they're down a possession or a service break if this were tennis, right? Because they just gave one up. Only their second drive now. Run their offense, try and get back into the game that way, and then look for some help from their defense.
Trying to forget about that pick six last time out. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
On the draw, this will be Freeman. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down in the backfield. It'll be a loss of 1, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Out of the gun, Bridgewater. And that's complete to Sanders. And he'll be stopped short of the first down as they rally to tackle him at about the 28. And they'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down.
Receivers love having the reputation of being go-to guys on 3rd down, and he was fighting like he really wanted to have that reputation, didn't he? I mean, he came very close to making that a first down.
Broke the 1 tackle, but couldn't spring himself free. Here's Riley Dixon now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. On the return, it's White. A terrific return there. 27 yards all told. And the Patriots take over. New England with a first down as they begin the drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
A little too aggressive defensively, and the flag comes out.
And no one trying to cover is going to like a call going against them, but you have to like the effort there. Went for the interception, just unable to get it, and the flag did come out.
They'll run on first down. White, and only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. Sony Michel with another touchdown, number 24 on the year. And the Patriots, they add on to their lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Extra point try for Gostkowski. And it is now 21-0. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. Gostkowski now after the touchdown. He'll send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Let's go.
Getting set to go again here, Teddy Bridgewater coming back onto the field. In second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people, lean on your teammates, find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
Or this, if he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse. A loss of 2 there, second down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
On a second and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jason McCourty. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
So the Patriots coming out now. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. So after the INT, it's Brady being chased out left. This is caught inside the 15. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, it was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Patriots. Ryan Izzo. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Patriots, they add on to their lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Gostkowski for the point after. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. Gostkowski now after the touchdown. He'll send this one away. Getting set to go here, Teddy Bridgewater and company marches back onto the field. He and his team, they have had a rough go of it here in this first half. Maybe time for him to put his foot down here in the second quarter.
Put his foot down and become a little more accurate throwing the football. He's already thrown 2 interceptions. He's trying to find a way to equal things out. And instead of it going to the opponents, get it to his own receivers and find the end zone.
Yeah, you mentioned those 2 picks. No touchdown passes yet either. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
Go. We play to win. Let's go.
And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. To throw again on second down. Bridgewater. Down the numbers. There he goes. And he will score. Touchdown, Patriots. That pick 6 extending this lead even further. Boy, it's been a while since I've seen a team struggle this badly in the first half.
I think all they want to do is get to the locker room, try and regroup, and come out to start the third quarter. But if things don't improve fast then, I think the backups get a lot of play in the second half.
The point after try for Gostkowski. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. The offense trots back onto the field, and we take an in-depth look at Royce Freeman. He's just been looking for some space. Yeah, I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Deshaun Hamilton, the intended receiver, and it's second down.
But I guess that answers the question whether or not they want him throwing it again right away after throwing the pick six on the previous drive.
Yeah, not something conservative or underneath. Pretty big shot right there.
Get him right back in the saddle and say, go ahead and sling it, big guy.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here. From the shotgun, it's Bridgewater. He's got Freeman here. It's complete. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Got a man. That's complete to Hamilton. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. Second down pass play got him 8 yards. Now they've got a third and a couple remaining. They'll throw again. Bridgewater. And this is going to be incomplete. So a couple of first downs on this drive, but it's looking like another empty possession.
And those empty possessions are certainly starting to pile up. So the adjustments that teams talk about all the time have to be taking place. They've got to analyze what's breaking down and figure a way to fix it.
Offense marching back onto the field, and our focus shifts here to Sony Michel. And he's found the end zone twice, and now... Amazing, perfectly placed. If that ball goes 1 extra yard, maybe not even an extra yard, the starting point is the 20.
So there is a reason that a lot of punters are also excellent golfers. They know distance control. You know what else they have? Same groove motion over and over. Once they have that down, it repeats under pressure.
The last run got 9. That leaves them with second and a yard.
I'm coming after you.
They'll keep it on the ground again here. There he goes, left side. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. Sony Michel, as the first half is winding down, as his guys continue to pour it on. But go ahead and give him the hat trick. He's been in the end zone now 3 times.
You toss your fedora first, okay? You go ahead and do that. But let's be honest about it. That third one, That's the most spectacular run he's had in the ballgame. It's almost as if he's been playing his own game of, can I top this? And each run has been more spectacular than the last.
Extra point good by Gostkowski. And a rout is on here in this first half. So 2 plays on that scoring drive. That's how they drew it up. And the long run into the end zone, and what a run it was. Gostkowski now after the touchdown. He'll send this one away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
Okay, baby, let's go. Let's go.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
I always win.
Go, go, go.
Bridgewater on first down. And Sanders has got it complete. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Final play of the half, Bridgewater. He's going to float this over the middle, deep. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. So we've reached halftime here at Gillette Stadium with the Patriots on top. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. We're starting to get near the home stretch of this NFL season. It's Week 13, so let's get an update on what's going on. We'll get started down at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami, where it was the visiting Bills who were able to come away with the victory on the road. 21-7, the final score. From there, we're off to Tennessee to check on the Titans at home in Nashville. And they've got the lead in their ball game over the visiting Cleveland Browns. Taywan Taylor, 2 touchdown catches on the afternoon. Finally, we finish at MetLife Stadium to see what's going on with the Jets. And they were losers in that one to the visiting Cincinnati Bengals. A touchdown, the difference. 21-14, the final score. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back.
I got 2 pick sixes and just an interception. Yeah, kicking their ass.
For quarter number 3. So here we go for half number 2. The Patriots with the lead, and they will be getting the football. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Philip Dorsett by himself. 20, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, New England. That's going to be a 103-yard kickoff return. What a run as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
And talk about taking words and bringing them to life. At halftime, I will guarantee you in their locker room, they talked about pressing the kicking game because you can get an advantage if you do it right, and they just did.
Extra point try for Gostkowski. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So that one officially goes down to the books as a return for a touchdown on the kickoff of 103 yards. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. On second down, Freeman. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The second down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. To throw, Bridgewater. He's got his big tight end, Fant. And they're able to get this one across the 35. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's Bridgewater. It's caught by Sanders. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos first down.
Partney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like he said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go. And let's see who's faster.
Well, they're going to get about 3 here out of this first down run, and that'll bring up 2nd and 7. The corner, Stephon Gilmore, on the stop. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Call it no gain on the dump off, and it's 3rd down. Now the old pass completion for no gain, not something you want to call up out of the playbook too often.
Yeah, most offensive coordinators don't have that on their play sheet, so they've got to go back and scramble after this one. But right now, with what they're telling receivers about making sure you take care of the ball in open field, sometimes the fighting for extra yardage doesn't come as a result. That and good tackling can lead to no yards gained. A
10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos first down.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
It's a loss of 4 on the first down play.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments.
Here we go.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Bridgewater. Man open. He's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
That one good for 7 as this long drive continues and the chains move again. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. The safety Patrick Chung is the one who makes the stop.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
They go play action. Bridgewater. And he's going to be taken down. They sack him on what will be the final play of quarter number 3. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Third and long now after the sack, and we'll see if Bridgewater has a response.
We got 4.
Here's Bridgewater. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Through an opening, and there he goes. 30, past the 20, and all the way in. Touchdown, New England. Sony Michel, his 26th touchdown, drawing even with Marshall Faulk for the 4th most in a single season as his guys continue to pour it on. You talk about the dominating rushing performances that you and I have seen together. This has got to be right up there. His 4th touchdown run of the game and another long one to boot.
And I don't need to ask for a witness because you're right here with me. We are watching this, and we're watching such a performance that is demoralizing. For anyone on defense. You know, it starts out coaches screaming, tackle him, get him. And after that last touchdown, I bet it's pure silence on that side of the ball.
Gostkowski now after the touchdown. He'll send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Some might have returned that one. He won't. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start the drive from the 25. And Denver getting set to take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Got a man. He finds Sanders. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. A Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
On 1st and 10, Bridgewater. Sanders has it over the middle. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. To the air again with Bridgewater. Open man here is Hamilton. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. First down, Bridgewater. He's got this complete to Hamilton. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. And again, it's Bridgewater. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Patrick Chung. He's at the 40, the 20, 10, 5. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Patriot defense has a touchdown.
Let's go.
Make it back-to-back weeks now with a pick 6 for him. He had one a week ago.
Talk about being in the groove, and what are the odds of what we're seeing right here? You don't see it happen very often. Listen, if you get a pick 6 in a season, it's been a big year, let alone back-to-back weeks. I'll tell you this, I wouldn't play cards against this guy in the locker room.
Gostkowski for the point after. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Three pick sixes and 2 interceptions.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position, not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Bridgewater. And this is incomplete. The safety, Patrick Chung, got a hand in, knocked it away.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Bridgewater. This is the tight end Fant. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. Dixon, the punter, is on as he sends it away. Fielded at the 20. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the 4th quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go.
That's caught at the 25. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. As he was shuffling right out of the pocket, you could just tell he was going to take a shot downfield. He had his eyes down there the whole way.
He certainly did. He wasn't taking off to go, right? When he was flush from the pocket, a lot of times you see him, eyes will drop, ball will get tucked, and he takes off, becomes a running back. But as you noted, stayed alive as a passer, tremendous body control, and a pretty good arm there, too.
Gostkowski the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. And they're able to get the connection on the long touchdown pass, and that's one of the easiest drive summaries you'll ever see. 1 play, touchdown. Gostkowski now, after the touchdown, he'll send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
Here we go.
And Denver getting set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
A throw taken in by Hamilton. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Throwing is Bridgewater. That one into the hands of Hamilton. 7 yards there and a first down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is a receiver's got to make sure he works a defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. To throw is Bridgewater. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Bridgewater now. And they almost had another one. They are all over the football in this game. Nearly another pick. Now 4th down. This one winding toward a conclusion. And how would you assess how the secondary is played?
Well, we just saw them take another shot downfield that was incomplete, correct?
Correct.
So my assessment is that if anyone's played really well in this game, it's been the secondary. That was the latest example.
Yeah, they've been solid. Really, the whole defense has been solid. Still pitching a shutout.
51 yards on the punt there. And out will come the offense as they take over.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Brady going to throw here. He'll buy some time right. It's caught by Roberts. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
Wait, 20! I'm going to run you over. I'm going to run you over.
Now Brady on the bootleg. Steps away. He's got Lacoste, his tight end. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On the ground, Michel. And an alley to run. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And he just tied the NFL record on that 5th rushing touchdown. He's the 6th man ever to do that in a single game.
And, partner, did you just say that he tied an NFL record there?
Yes, sir.
I mean, we're talking 5 touchdowns on the ground against an NFL-caliber defense.
Is that good?
I'd say that's fantastic. What a game for him.
It really is something. We are watching quite the effort. The point after try for Gostkowski. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So that drive, 4 plays. And it was Sony Michel's touchdown scamper that polished the drive off. Gostkowski now, after the touchdown, he'll send this one away. This one taken from the 7. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. They are down big. They have not scored a single point. I don't know. Are they so defeated at this point you just want to get in the locker room, get the heck out of here?
That is one way to approach it. Sometimes coaches say, that's it, okay? It hasn't worked all game. There's no sense in doing something now. Let's get out of here. No one gets hurt. But others will look at it and say, we still have an opportunity to do something.
On the line.
Exactly. You have pride on the line, execution as you look forward and get ready for your next game, and a message to your team. We're not going to quit. No matter what the battle is, we're going to finish this thing out.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. And what are the whistles for? Timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. One last shot now for Bridgewater. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. So this will wind up a victory for the New England Patriots. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for the Patriots, The streak continues as they push their mark to a perfect 12-0 now on the year. And they'll get another home date next week as the 49ers will come to town. Meanwhile, for the Broncos, it was a win they needed to turn the season around, but instead they fall to 5-7. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Tampa to take on the Bucs. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody. Start your week by installing your game plan.
Hey, everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. On tap, we've got what should be a fairly intriguing matchup between the San Francisco 49ers and the New England Patriots. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, it is a chilly night here in the northeastern U.S., but we've got some football to keep us warm at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the San Francisco 49ers and the New England Patriots. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Patriots team entering play. They've handled all comers through the first 3 months, a perfect 12-0.
Yeah, they're 3/4 of the way to a perfect season, and now's where it really starts to get into your mind. We'll see if it affects their play in any way.
On the other side of the field for the visiting 49ers, they come in the midst of a pretty bad stretch here, losers of 5 straight.
So many different reasons teams hit the losing skids, but the best way out of it, something has to happen positive early in the game.
Three-quarters of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. This will be fielded at the 8. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. They'll be led out by their quarterback standing at 6'2" from Eastern Illinois. It's Jimmy Garoppolo.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or two free.
So first and 10 now from the 30. Now the Georgia Southern man. This is Jerick McKinnon. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play at 2nd down. And a quick look now at the offense for the 49ers.
And everyone always tells me the fullback is leaving the game, and then I say, hold it a second. What about Kyle Juszczyk? 2-time Pro Bowler, maybe the best all-around fullback in the game for his ability to block, catch, and occasionally run the football inside.
Second down, McKinnon. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. Looking to complete it to Pettis, and he's got him. And this play comes to a halt at the 33, and obviously that's well short of the first down.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood what the 3rd down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
So on 4th down, here's the Australia native Mitch Wishnowski to punt this one away. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. So here come the Patriots now to take over on offense. Now they're led out by a guy who's done just about everything you could ever imagine to do in this league, the great Tom Brady.
It's been a lot of fun watching him develop in his career. But that will to win, he's had that probably since birth, and it transmits itself throughout his entire ball club. Watching him play, it can be an absolute joy unless you're on the other team.
Flush to his right. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way down to the 39. It's a big play there for the Patriots. 41 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Play action. Now it's Brady rolling to his left. Oh, he'll try and throw it deep to the other side of the field. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Now let's give you a look here at the New England offense.
And a big key is going to be how can these wideouts create separation from the defensive backs, because we've seen some early success in the passing game in this one, and that's going to need to continue.
Brady's incompletion on 1st down leads to a 2nd and 10. James White's first carry. And some nifty running right away as he'll get this up past the 30. And he's going to have this pretty close to a 1st down as the tackle is made at the Niners' 31.
Here we go.
Brady looking to throw on 3rd and 2. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Here we go with Michelle. He'll get the 1st down and more inside the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. Sony Michel with his 28th touchdown, drawing level with Sean Alexander for the 2nd most in a single year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Now Steven Gostkowski on for the extra point. And he gets it to make it 7-0 Patriots. So the drive there, 5 plays, 80 yards. And it was Sony Michel's touchdown scamper that polished the drive off. Gostkowski now, after the touchdown, he'll send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Garoppolo going to give this one to McKinnon, and he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
We call that sack block.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Oh, he's going to go ahead and field it from the 3-yard line. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Patriot offense heading back out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that #1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it. It's team talking about it to each other, supporting each other, carrying each other along, because having that #1 seed means everything in the NFL.
It does. So even though the division title's clinched, shouldn't take the foot off the gas.
No, not at all. Play it all the way through. I think we've seen that in recent years. And yet,
oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. Picked off at the 38.
okay, it's real simple to say from here, but we know that sometimes as a quarterback, you've got to know when to say when and just throw it away. Flushed out to the right, tries to make something out of nothing here, and he winds up floating one downfield that gets intercepted.
The throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. He was trying to get it to George Kittle, his tight end, and that'll bring up second down. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Now Garoppolo leaves for McKinnon on the draw. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. Looks to throw, fires right side, and that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. Offense marching back onto the field, and our focus shifts here to Sony Michel. And you see his numbers from a week ago. He was up over 100 yards then, and he's already hit pay dirt here once in this one.
We always talk about quarterbacks and receivers getting into rhythm, right? Really feeling good, finding each other downfield. I think running backs operate the same way. They can hit a good rhythm and a good stride, and he's carrying it over from last week.
So Brady and the Pats take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. That'll be a New England 1st down, a gain of 12. We should mention, to go along with a great game he had last week, he was rightfully named AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
And he shares that with his offensive line, the tight end, his fullback. He's looking for more and more of that in this game.
Buying time to his left. He's going to have the hook up to Izzo. And he's finally taken down, and it's a big gain there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. They defer to White out of the shotgun. There to stop him on the defensive side, Fred Warner.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
On 2nd down, it's White. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. That one good for 13 at a New England 1st down.
They're making it look easy out there. Another 1st down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. 1st down, here's White. Again, he finds an opening. And he's in. Touchdown, Patriots. James White hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Patriots, they add on to their lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run. And one thing I've learned in our time in this game, Yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Gostkowski with the extra point, and it's now 14-0. So the drive there, 5 plays, 80 yards. And the finishing touch was that nice long run into the end zone. Gostkowski now after the touchdown. He'll send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
Let's go.
I'm winning, Brian.
The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board. Here, I think you're feeling okay.
Here we go. 180. We ain't giving up nothing today.
Looking to throw on second down. Garoppolo. He finds McKinnon complete. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve.
Here we go.
They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. White now to return. Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. All told, it's a punt return of 74 yards. And the Patriots, they add on to their lead. A lot of times they want this guy just to try to flip field position. He flipped it all the way into the end zone.
Yeah, the rule of thumb is, can you pick up 10 yards? That's getting a first down. Instead, he takes it all the way and provides a big spark for his team.
Extra point good by Gostkowski. And it's now 21-0. So his big play capability in full display there as he's able to return that punt for a touchdown. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Jerick McKinnon making his way back onto the field. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. And the first play of the drive goes to McKinnon. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in, your running back. They have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Here's Garoppolo to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. Man open, it's Goodwin. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the first down marker.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50, first and 10. Good starting field position for them here as they come up first and 10 right at the 50-yard line. A give to Michelle running right. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Now on 2nd and 13. Brady, he's going to take off with it. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a third down situation. An extra DB for the 49ers now on third. Shotgun now for Brady. And that will be incomplete. Covers that time by Aaron Colvin.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
The Patriots send out their punter. The speedster Dante Pettis back deep to return. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds, and they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong, you know, back and forth like that? But it definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
Here we go, here we go, here we go. Black 80! Yo, 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 yo!
Now McKinnon to start the drive. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Throwing on second down. Garoppolo. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Garoppolo to throw on 3rd and 1. And able to haul it in is Kittle. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Garoppolo now, 6 of 10 in this first half. He's got his guys a first down here. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. And yet again, it's Garoppolo. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. It'll go as a first down for San Francisco on a pickup of 16.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Here we go.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
You're not ready. You're not ready.
Garoppolo again. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. 3rd and short, McKinnon. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. Now the Patriots will use the second of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. Here comes the 49ers punter now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. And the Patriots gearing up to go now. And this unit has been set up nicely here in this one, thanks to some great punt returns that we get a look at.
And they did kind of give us a hint about that in our pregame meeting, didn't they? They felt like they had a good scheme.
The Pats at the line, ready to go. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened-up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. Brady now to throw. Flushed out right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And that'll be incomplete. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll start up at TIAA Stadium in Jacksonville, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. Jordan Howard, a touchdown run in the victory. From there, we fly north to Cleveland to check on the Browns at home at First Energy Stadium. And they were winners as they defeat the visiting Philadelphia Eagles. Baker Mayfield leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. And then finally, a good one on Monday Night Football between the Indianapolis Colts and the Tennessee Titans. Meanwhile, our game has been a boat race, very one-sided to this point. And for the call of the second half, let's get it back to our commentating team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. So here we go for half number 2. The Patriots with the lead, and they will be getting the football. This will be fielded at the 6. And he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
And he's got room. He's got the lane, and there he goes. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. Sony Michel with touchdown number 29, too short of LaDainian Tomlinson's all-time record 31. And the Patriots, they add on to their lead. Extra point try for Gostkowski. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. One play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. Gostkowski now after the touchdown. He'll send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the second half.
And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
I know a lot of times we like to put players in certain boxes. He does this and he does that. But this guy, he can do a little bit of everything. He's not just a lead blocker or a guy who protects the passer. Handing the ball, he might want to get out of the way.
And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues.
We've seen this a few times in this game. That offensive line just, I don't know if you want to call it out physical, out tough, whatever you want to use.
And what people do when that is happening, when they're getting dominated that way, they spread things out a little bit, make it more of a space game, and allow your skill position players to make a few plays out in open field. Take away the physical element, gives you a chance.
They'll look to pick it up with McKinnon. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. First down, San Francisco. The pickup, 14 yards.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
So after the run by McKinnon, here's 1st and 10. Now they'll throw with Garoppolo. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Lawrence Guy gets him for a loss of 8. What great push up front.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Garoppolo looks to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. To throw, it's Garoppolo. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Another drive comes and goes, still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
Here comes the 49ers punter now. He's been terrific so far. The field flipper there, a 47-yard punt coupled with a loss on the return. And the Pats will be backed up deep to get the drive started as they take over 1st and 10. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. And now off to the races down the right side. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. Sony Michel becoming just the second player with 30 touchdowns in a single year as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. He's been having a great game, and that one right there, his best run so far, and it ends with 6 points.
And not only that, in his mind, what is he thinking? Can I get to 200 yards as well? Because he knows he's closing in on it. He may not know the exact number, but the best runners have a feel of what the yardage is that they're compiling, and he knows that he's getting close to that 200-yard mark now.
Gostkowski the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. It only took him 2 plays there to find the end zone. The last one, the long run, getting him in for 6 points. Gostkowski now, after the touchdown, he'll send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
Here we go, here we go,
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. John Simon able to record his 5th sack of the season.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here we go.
After the sack, here's 2nd and 11.
Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field, defense.
Now McKinnon. They get 9 yards back on the run there, and they're left with a much more makeable 3rd and 2.
Here we go, here we go.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. They'll try and run for it. This is Juszczyk. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
I get the thought process. 3rd and short, give it to the fullback, let him bulldoze his way. But that means you're counting on your offensive line to win the line of scrimmage, aren't you?
Yeah, there was just a mass of bodies there at the line. Looked like more defenders than offensive guys. Winds up losing yardage. Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he's on here to punt it away. On the return, it's White. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the Patriots take over. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because...
And that's caught inside the 30. And he's in. Touchdown, Patriots. Josh Gordon with touchdown number 7 on the year as his guys continue to pour it on. And that time, he came out of the slot for that big play downfield for the score.
I think what we just saw there, partner, was what we call scheming a guy open. Put him in the slot, know that he has tremendous speed. What you're doing with your other receivers is likely running shorter routes to draw the attention closer to the line of scrimmage, to give him a chance to get downfield and turn it into a one-on-one route, often against the safety. You like your odds when he's running against the safety. His speed usually wins, and it did on that play.
Gostkowski for the point after. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. And we can break that scoring drive down pretty easily. One play, Long touchdown pass into the end zone. Gostkowski now after the touchdown. He'll send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The 49er offense now making their way out onto the field.
And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Trying to keep those big legs churning, but he's going to go down in the backfield. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
After a play like that, there should be congratulations all the way around, I think, because if you can stop a big fullback like that, that's not easily done.
Yeah, he does not go down easily. You're right, but he did there. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Hey, let's go. Calm the crowd. Say hut. Let's go. We got this. Say hut.
From the gun, they will run with McKinnon. A gain of 28 yards there and give them a first down. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Back now in Foxborough. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair.
Here we go. Wait, 80! Watch the twist.
Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. And he will find his man for the first time, Demaryius Thomas. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. First down, San Francisco. The pickup, 14 yards. Garoppolo, 9 of 16 through the air as he's got it 1st and 10. Garoppolo finding his tight end, Kittle. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch. Good for 8 yards. Garoppolo now. A dump down to McKinnon. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards. On first down. Another example of just a dominant performance by this defense.
Now, you hear all the time about teams that try to steal signals from the other side and try and learn their signs and their tendencies. It's almost like they get the answers to the exam the night before and were well prepared for this final.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. Looking to throw, Garoppolo completes it to the tight end, Kittle.
That's where you belong.
The Niners on 3rd down. Just a 20% success rate at 2 of 10. This is 3rd and 11. McKinnon. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. 4th down now after a loss of 2. Bear in mind, that wasn't a big lineman back there for the tackle for loss. That was a cornerback.
So are you saying the myth has been shattered? That all of them are not just cover corners? Some of them actually will stick their nose in and tackle when necessary? That's what we just saw, isn't it?
So Garoppolo off. Coming on is the veteran Robbie Gould for the 49er field goal. On the left hash mark, this a 38-yard attempt. And in his 15th season, he's able to get this one to go. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Offense marching back onto the field, and our focus shifts here to Sony Michel. I guess it kind of goes without saying at this point, but he's had a great game, as we like to say, a nose for the end zone, no doubt.
Continues to find it throughout this game, and I'm sure he's got
a big seam, and he might go all the way. And he's in for the score, and his spectacular season continues as he ties the NFL touchdown record.
He is phenomenal.
And that rushing touchdown, his 4th, puts him just 1 shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
Gostkowski with the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. So they hit pay dirt on just 1 play. The long run, the scamper, and a very nice scamper into the end zone for the touchdown. Gostkowski now, after the touchdown, he'll send this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. To throw is Garoppolo. Demaryius Thomas, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
Here we go. Like 20. 52's the line. Hey, tight.
Working from the gun, Garoppolo. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop, but that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything, so it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Now the Patriots offense, they work their way back out onto the field. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
Well, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that... a team put 70. I actually saw that happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL, in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right? As the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously, that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from the first one and blew out the Seahawks.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 18 big yards on that one, and a New England first down. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
And he'll get it down here to the 43. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. On second down now, it's White. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards. And it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more. The backup Stidham, his first throw, rolling to his right. He finds Roberts, complete. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
60 yards. They can't hang with us.
On the ground is Michel. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. And one of the whistles for a timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds.
Watch the screen.
And it's Michel once again. And he's going to pull his way down to about the 1-yard line. And they just took a timeout with 2 seconds to go. This one obviously decided. Not sure they needed to take it, but we'll take it with them. Play number 7 coming on this drive. It's 3rd and inches. They'll try and run for it. Here's Michel. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that. But there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with it. I struggle. But on the other, the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
Extra point good by Gostkowski. And that will extend this big lead. So that drive goes 8 plays. And it was Sony Michel's touchdown scamper that polished the drive off. And the 49er hands team does its job. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for New England, the streak lives as they move to 13-0 now on the year. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the 49ers, it's unfortunately more of the same as they'll fall to 3-10 on the year. And they'll try to rebound next week as they head to Glendale to take on the Cardinals. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports. Start your week by installing your game plan.